Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anis Afika binti Zakaria, 1230831. Today I will present about the prohibition of riba in Maqasid Syariah perspective. The prohibition of riba. Islam, like other monotheistic religions, condemns and prohibits riba. The prohibition of riba in Islam is given in strong and clear-cut terms. The Quran says, but God has permitted the sale and forbidden the riba, and also God destroys or eliminates the riba. Riba is an Arabic word that means increment or increase, but the Quran did not mean any increment as it refers to an increment in a specific transaction. Maqasid al-Shari'ah or Maqasid of Islamic law are the general objectives of Islamic legislation, which consists of the deeper meanings and inner aspect of wisdom considered by the lawgiver in areas and circumstances of legislation. The Shariah's general rules and specific proof indicate that the all-purpose principle of Islamic legislation is to preserve the social order of communities and ensure their well-being. Also includes people's worldly conditions and social affairs. Implications of the Maqasid in the prohibition of riba. Two important results that arise from the objectives maqasid of the prohibition of riba or interest. The first one, a loan is a means of providing personal finance and it should remain personal. The second one, any efforts that aim at creating new Islamic financial hybrids should observe the maqasid in the process of developing new contracts. The first one, a loan is a means of providing personal finance and it should remain personal. It seems that the immediate implication of the prohibition of interest is to remove lending activities from the business arena and send them to the charitable arena that usually consists of both individuals who have close ties and bondage to each other and non-profit organizations that act also on the basis of creating personal database and relation as a loan is a given to a person who has temporary needs that call for relief with temporary liquidity. Loans and personal finances are not considered in our Sharia as tools for mobilizing resources for investment, trade, and business. Of course, this does not mean the prohibition of issuing loans to businesses, but it means that lending to businesses is an exception, not a rule, and whenever it is done, it should abide by the rules of benevolence and charity, not reformulated as a profit-generating activity. The second one, any efforts that aim at creating new Islamic financial hybrid should observe the maqasid in the process of developing new contracts. The lack of full observance of the objective of the prohibition of riba may render a hybrid contract into a mere superficial cover-up of what is prohibited and make Islamic financing completely ineffective and inefficient in performing its essential characteristic. For instance, while financing commodity trade is absolutely permissible and is consistent with the maqasid, the mere fulfillment of the conditions of owning or possessing is not sufficient. Although it is necessary conditions unless the objective of maqasid is helping or facilitating trade or exchange of goods and services is also observed. Conclusion. Riba was prohibited to prevent the exploitation, inequality, and injustice in the society. Riba is believed to be a mechanism and dangerous weapon that has a power to get hold of assets or properties of individuals, enterprises, and nations deceitfully. Moreover, considering the serious dimensions of fasad and al-bil batil to which riba has been related, the message is very clear that charging of interest belongs to a mindset that leads to disruption of civil society.